All right, what the heck is Bryson DeChambeau doing? Hey everybody, Scott Hogan coming at you. We're here, actually, maybe my favorite week of the year, which is the Open Championship week, British Open, whatever you want to call it. You have the time of golf being 3 a.m. all the way throughout the day. I love it. It's fantastic. And you know what? Different style of golf that we don't get to see all year. So a lot of fun to watch. Now, big thing going on with the tournament is you have so far after round one, you have Bryson DeChambeau putting his foot in his mouth. Kind of, again, he's kind of done this a little bit. And it's over his driver. And let's talk a little bit about that because I'm getting some questions about, is he right or is he wrong? And let's go into it. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about what Bryson is doing or what he's been doing. So he's been trying to get his ball speed up. That's basically it. Now, he wants his ball speed, over 200 miles an hour. He wants to be pushing that envelope because obviously with more ball speed, you are going to hit the ball farther. Now, here's the thing that you have to know about ball speed. One, ball speed, you're going to need to hit the ball with more swing speed. So you're going to have to swing this driver faster. Now, that's obviously number one, but more parts to the equation are going to be, how do you get more ball speed? Well, to get the most ball speed off of your driver, you have to hit the driver in the middle of the club face. Drivers are hollow. When you hit them, it's like a trampoline hitting. And so if you ever jumped on a trampoline, where you jump the highest and get the most bounce back is when you jump right in the middle. Now, there are some things that go on with drivers, that's the number one thing you have to do, hit the ball in the middle. But they have gotten to where they engineer these drivers and they are crazy good. And they do help you a little bit if you hit the ball off center. Okay, so that's kind of come up over the years, and what they call that is gear effect. And so what gear effect is, if you've ever hit a ball, and I have a lot of people will tell me this, they'll say, oh, I hit it, oh man, the club twisted at impact, it twisted in my hands. That's actually, that's not you doing that. What happens is when you hit a golf ball, this is 100 and something miles per hour, two hard objects hitting. It is a car crash, man. This thing is a wreck. And what happens is when you hit, it twists the club. Now, what we started to figure out, and with the way the drivers expand as well, is when you hit the toe, what actually would happen is instead of kind of sending off right, what would happen is the ball would actually start to spin to the left because the way they were frictioning, that's a word, I don't even know, off of the face. Okay, so you would get this toe hook, and then what they started to do was actually design this, what we call the roll and the bulge, and basically what they started doing is putting kind of a little bit of a roll into the face, so, hey, if I hit it off the toe, what's going to happen is the ball's going to be drawing, but what ends up happening is it actually sends us off to the right so it can draw back in, so Bryson's been somebody I think that's very much benefited from having that. And obviously, if you hit on the heel, it's the opposite. It's going to go left and fade back in. Bryson's somebody that's been benefiting from that. Now, the problem, though, is Bryson's trying to do this at an unbelievable rate of speed, and what he's complaining about right now is his driver, he said it sucks, is because it doesn't work really good on mishits. That to me is just pretty ridiculous. Like, the number one thing I talk with people when they come and we work on the game is you need to hit the ball square. You need to hit it in the middle of the face. Like, yeah, it's nice to have this at your, disposal. Like, hey, it's going to help me once in a while. But the skill of the game is hit the ball in the middle of the face. The skill of the game, and the reason why people haven't gone and absolutely swung as hard as they possibly can in the past is because it becomes very difficult to hit the ball in the middle of the face. So I just don't quite understand what he's talking about, where he's at. I mean, obviously he's frustrated and things like that, but to start complaining that hey, I don't have a driver that's good enough when I don't hit it good, that's not going to be good. Like the USJ is going to look at that and say, you're serious, right? Okay, let's take a look at that. Maybe we'll make sure they aren't very good. It's just going to start limiting things. But the other thing that you have to look at with his driver is, they're doing some engineering, and what happens is they're trying to bring his loft down. So Bryson keeps saying, hey, I need the ball speed up. I need the ball speed up. I need spin down too, stuff like that, but I want the ball speed up. So what you can do is you can actually start to de-loft the driver. So he's down to 5 degrees. Like my driver is 9, and that's one of the lowest loft drivers I've ever played is 9. I'm usually 9.5 to 10, but he got it down to 5. Okay, now here's the thing, and I think this is something that a lot of people don't realize. Like drivers nowadays, right? They have the adjustable part to it. Okay, when you're adjusting it, you can adjust the loft. You can also adjust like the open and closed part of the face. Now, the way golf clubs are engineering, like when I add loft, so if I'm adding loft to the club, what actually happens is the club, when they add it, it actually turns in, so it starts closing the face. When you take loft off, what actually happens is it starts opening the face. Okay, I'm trying to show you that. It's going to actually open the face. So what I always tell people is like, hey, you're taking loft off that driver. That's an option you can use, but it does affect the face angle. They're not mutually exclusive. Like, hey, I'm going to just adjust how my loft works. I'm just going to adjust open or closed. It doesn't work like that, unfortunately. So as he's bringing loft down, he's adjusting the face angle to that driver. And now if, like, let's say he's getting it more and more open, right? Let's say he wants to hit a draw. His swing has to be so in to out to be able to draw it back. I mean, that's going to be very difficult to do at, again, 135, 140 mile an hour club speed, 200 something ball speed. That's going to be very difficult. So I think, he's so set, and I think that's one of the things about Bryson, knowing him from, back in the days, winning the USAM here in Chicago, things like that. He was a phenomenal player. The one thing I've actually enjoyed about what he's doing is he's actually helping illustrate what it takes to play really good golf, and, and what it takes to win is short game wedges. Like he's driving it unbelievably far, but if you can't hit the center, you're not going to keep it in play. If you do hit it that far and you can't hit a wedge, you're not going to score any better or worse than you used to, right? You're gonna go with where your wedges go. Like hitting it farther is just putting you more into wedges, and his wedges, to be honest, have been not very good. And to be honest too, I've heard him say his wedges were bad at some point too. That's the reason he couldn't hit a ball on a green. But whatever. That's his deal. But I've had a lot of people asking like, hey, what the heck is he talking about? Why would he do that? Now the ethics side of this, I mean, pretty rookie move there. I think about the guys that succeed in this business, like a Ricky Fowler, who is a Cobra guy. Full disclosure, I have Cobra irons. I never expected to actually get them. I paid for myself. I love them. They're awesome irons, but I've never been a huge driver fan from them, just for whatever reason. Nothing in particular, just not my thing. But I think from a brand standpoint, like you just can't do that. Like people are working hard to try to do something that really has never been done. And you're trying to push this envelope, so you've got to go exploring it together. And to throw somebody under the bus and say, "Oh, you suck, you're not getting this done," it's like, not a big fan of it. And I think that's why he gets what he gets. It's where he's at with his likes and all that stuff. And what are you gonna do? But anyway, love the Open. I'd love to hear who you think's gonna win. I got Spieth winning this thing. He looks awesome. He is just ball striking it like crazy, and he's got complete control of his golf ball. That's going to ultimately, in the end of the day, I think be what breaks the the ties or anything like that are going to probably inevitably come up. And then we'll see what happens with the weather. I kind of like a little carnage. Let's see some weather come in. But either way, cool to see, fun tournament, and yeah, love to hear your thoughts on Bryson down below and what he's doing. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video. Peace.